It's one of the most important things they teach in film school. In fact, it's one of the first things they teach in film school. You see it in most behind-the-scenes documentaries or special features, and it's a crucial component of the VFX pipeline. So why do so few independent productions actually do it? I'm talking about Previs, or Previsualization. And there are 3 reasons I found that most indie productions skip the process. And by the end of this video, I'll show you why each of these reasons are just flat out wrong. But before I get into that, if you're a budget-minded filmmaker looking to save yourself both time and money on your next production, hit that like button and subscribe. We're working hard on more content like this that'll walk you through every step of the VFX pipeline, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. So what is Previs? Previs can cover storyboards, animatics, concept art, really anything that a filmmaker would use in pre-production to visually show what a concept, moment, frame, or idea should look like. It's usually one of the first things I ask for when a production comes to me, and a vast majority of them don't have it. You see, Previs is a huge part of not just designing how you're going to execute a visual effect, but understanding how much it'll cost. If a production comes to me in pre-production and asks what I think an effect will cost to create in post, most of the time, it'll be very difficult to give an actual number when there's nothing for me to see. And I've said it before, there are about 1,000 different ways to shoot any one effect, and the costs associated with shooting it one way versus another can vary tremendously. By creating thorough storyboards, animatics, and concept art, you can clearly communicate an idea to your production team so everyone understands what their role in a particular shot is. So if it's so important to the VFX pipeline, why do so few independent productions actually do it? Reason number 1. It costs too much. I get it, you're an indie film powered on energy drinks and elbow grease. All of your money went into camera gear and crafty. And besides, that's for those Marvel movies with hundreds of millions of dollars. Why are you gonna spend time or money on Previs? I'll tell you why. Communication. It's the make or break factor in all filmmaking. Let's look at those Marvel movies, for example. Why do you think they go through all that visual development, concept art, storyboards, and animatics? They have hundreds of millions of dollars on the line with each film. They need to see what every shot is going to look like before they even get to set. They can't risk a misunderstanding between departments with everything they have on the line. Same goes for you. Maybe not hundreds of millions of dollars, but you have everything riding on this. This is your baby. The stakes could arguably be higher for you than for Marvel because they could just throw money at the problem. Can you? Imagine this scenario. You shoot your film and you've got a few major visual effects sequences ahead of you. You shoot it as you would any other sequence, maybe you have a shot list, but you're largely doing this without the assistance of a VFX professional or any previs to speak of. The shoot goes great. You take it to post, you picture lock, and now you bring your shots to a VFX professional for a quote. But now there's a problem. The footage wasn't shot in the most ideal way, and now the cost to do the work has ballooned past what you originally budgeted. Maybe something should have been shot with a green screen, so now a shot needs additional rotoscoping. Maybe a camera movement is handheld and erratic and requires more advanced camera tracking to successfully composite the effect. If something isn't planned for on set and isn't shot properly, you could be looking at a costly fix-it-in-post scenario that you might not be able to afford. Whether you do it yourself or call in a favor from that artistic friend of yours, get that previs. It may be more expensive to fix something in post-production than to plan for it properly in pre-production. Reason number 2. I'm not an artist, I can't draw storyboards. Good news is you don't need to be an art major to create previs. You can even use your phone to take simple pictures of stand-ins posing to approximate the shot you want to depict. There's also software and apps like Storyboarder and Previs Pro that provide tools and easy-to-use interfaces, making it accessible for anyone to create storyboards without needing advanced drawing skills. And reason number 3, my production is too small, or my production doesn't have a lot of VFX, so I don't need previs. Well, the truth is no production is too small to benefit from thorough planning and previs. They certainly can be hurt by a lack of planning, so why wouldn't you want something as complex as your VFX mapped out as clearly as possible? Unlike most cinematography, where you can typically work with a general shot list, even finding new shots throughout the day, VFX shots can require special setups and meticulous planning to ensure the most usable footage is captured. Sure, sometimes some effects may not need as much prep work as others. Your script might read close-up on cell phone. Okay, you might not need previs to know what a close-up on a cell phone looks like, but making sure everyone has a clear understanding of how an effect should look should be a top priority on any project, no matter the size. Okay, so let's recap. It's too expensive. Well, it doesn't have to be, and it can be more expensive if something isn't planned for or shot correctly. I'm not an artist. And you don't have to be. And there are plenty of great tools and techniques out there that you can use to create your previs. My production is too small, or I don't have much VFX, so I don't need previs. No production is too small for thorough planning. Now that we've dispelled all that nonsense, let's talk about one of the biggest things that Previs can do for your project. Sell your script. Let's say you're a writer or a filmmaker with a script that you're trying to get off the ground. It's one thing to get in a meeting and pitch your story with the polished script, but what's one of the first rules of storytelling? Show, don't tell. Imagine you enter a pitch meeting not with just a solid script, but you have an entire look laid out for them, storyboards illustrating your main action sequences, animatics showing just how dynamic your camera and blocking will look, concept art for characters, locations, and those obscure props that the written word may not easily convey. The point is that you have something to show, and when you can clearly communicate your story to department heads, your producers, your investors, you're less likely to run into costly problems further down the line. In fact, I've worked with filmmakers who have previs their entire film in the script phase. I mean every frame. And let me tell you, besides the obvious benefits to the VFX pipeline, it was a hell of a lot easier for them to sell their film to investors. So how do you create dynamic previs for your next production? Well, you can start by watching this video right here, where I walk you through how I previs a scene for VFX. Then make sure to follow us on all the socials at VFX2Go and our website VFX2Go.com. I've been Jake, and remember, together we can reframe what's possible.